Hey, what's up? This is Amazing reacting to a brand new video on my channel. Today's video is titled, What I Really Think of Sakamoto Days. So, me and the fandom when it comes to Sakamoto Days, I kind of already know where this video is headed. If you're watching it in an anime, I'm pretty sure you like it, or probably love it. But if you're a manga reader, honestly, Sakamoto Days has lost the plot. I feel like everybody in the fandom kind of sense that. Hopefully it can get better, but I don't know. It has been a little bit. I don't know if it's Sakamoto Days has lost the plot as much as uh other competitors like Kagurabachi has been going on this run for so long that whenever you like start to read Sakamoto Days, that it don't hit the same. But we gonna get a different opinion from this person who made this video.
How do I feel about Sakamoto Days?
Yes, how do you
Well, to
feel?
be honest, not good. For some
Yeah, I
context,
kind
I
of
have
figured.
never been an avid manga reader. My first manga that I seriously read was JJK, and from there I picked up
Uh,
Sakamoto Days, and now I'm also reading Kagurabachi and JJK Modulo. The point
See,
I'm
that's I haven't
making
seen
is that
Modulo, but
Sakamoto Days is effectively my first
Kagurabachi
gag
probably one of the
manga if
reasons
you
why
want to or still consider it
he
that.
feel like
And I
Sakamoto
think the main
Days is
issue
lacking.
here is the disconnect between what I want Sakamoto Days to be and what Suzuki and a lot of the community want Sakamoto Days to be.
Yeah.
Suzuki has been on record for saying that he kind of just does what feels right and tries random stuff when he's writing his manga. This is obviously
I,
shown through the
Listen, it
consistency
was
with
like
crazy
it was
choices in
going
each
on a
chapter,
crazy
and more
run.
subtly
I
felt
feel
with the
like
writing
after
decisions
this,
Suzuki makes when pushing the
after the
plot
when they
forward.
introduced
My
the bow and
issue
arrow guy,
is that a lot of the
that's when it
writing
got kind of
decisions that Suzuki has been
that's
making
when it
are
kind of
simply
started falling off.
not pushing
After
the
that,
plot
Shen's
forward
development,
in a
man,
way
Shen
that
my
I
favorite
agree with
character.
or
So,
want
well,
for the
Gaku my
manga.
favorite
You
character, but
see,
Shen
when
second.
Sakamoto Days first started, it was very clearly a gag manga. Each chapter had that Saturday morning cartoon vibe, and that's fine.
See, I didn't even
But it
think that
soon
about
picked
it.
up an actual story with
I
Sakamoto
looked
and the
at it
main
just like a
character
normal
remove his
manga.
bounty, transforming into a fight between Sakamoto and Izuki, along with a bunch of other side plots and stories that
Izuki
enriched the
lost
world and
Ore
gave it a
too.
far more serious tone. And that
Yeah,
serious tone is
him
something that
losing
I really
Ore, like
vibed with. I wanted Sakamoto Days to be a more serious manga, with actual character arcs, an overarching goal, and a cast of characters that felt truly important instead of just being
yeah, they
villains.
focus it on too many
Thankfully,
side
for a
characters
while,
that
it seemed
aren't
like
important.
Suzuki wanted that for the manga too.
Like I
From
care
the
more about
introduction
this
of
guy than I
Izuki
do
all the way
some
to
of
the
the other
museum arc,
characters.
it felt like
The guy who
Suzuki
was
was
running
writing the
fast,
manga
who was
with
in the hospital.
intention. There was build up, subplots, and character arcs that were
They need to bring
foreshadowed
Gaku back
heading
too.
into the museum arc. But now, it feels like Sakamoto Days has an
Oh, that
identity
museum arc
crisis.
was
It
incredible.
feels like Suzuki doesn't know how to balance a serious story with goofy, funny moments, and the plot is paying for it.
He
We've
did it good in the
backtracked with the
beginning
story
though.
feeling far less intentional and having a lot more of the wacky, fun moments without the narrative payoff of
Yeah,
a
I feel
more
like he
serious
wasted his
story.
character
I
too.
think
The
my
the
issue
old
with
man
this
Torres.
is perfectly encapsulated with Sakamoto's recent return. Sakamoto has come back in his fat form, and it seems like the community is loving it. Plenty of people were asking for Fat Sakamoto to come back, and there is a legitimate narrative basis for it. After all, Sakamoto's entire arc throughout the manga has been to accept his new lifestyle and learning to use it to make him a better fighter. Him coming back in his fat form is symbolic of that. Unfortunately, Suzuki's solution to giving Sakamoto the strength to beat the Order was just to give him a straight stat boost. Not only is this boring, it directly contradicts the message the
Yeah,
story was pushing for. When Granny Mia first gives
yeah. Because honestly, when it was the one scene with Torres when they were in like when he invited him over for like dinner and he was doing something at the stove, I thought maybe like kitchen appliances or something. Like it was something that he noticed about his skill that I thought they was gonna reveal later. But it turns out, I don't know. I guess he just got to believe in himself or something because he got fat and then he's still strong now. He's still same old Sakamoto. Just he got a power boost.
Sakamoto the idea that his body is fine as is, she says that fat guys have their own
Yeah, man.
way of moving.
Fight with your dad,
Sakamoto
bod.
currently is moving the exact same way as he did in his skinny form, just magically faster and with more strength. His fighting style, the thing that Sakamoto is actually known for, has not evolved to incorporate aspects of his life as a father. It has not reached a new level of creativity borrowing from life skills that he may
Yeah,
have
like
learned
Shen
from
got a
Maui.
power up. You would
No.
think
He's
Sakamoto would
just
get something.
faster and stronger than Torres now, and he happens to be fat. And I don't even like the fact that Sakamoto no diff Torres in one chapter. For one,
See, I
Torres
didn't even
was
think about
initially
that.
slated to go
He
up
didn't
against
really have no
Kisaragi,
character
so
development.
that makes yet
He went
another serious
backwards.
fight that
Cause Sakamoto went kind of backwards when his character development, when he started like second guessing doing stuff because he was fearful that he could lose everything or his family could get hurt. And then he kind of like got over it, but he got so much more powerful. I don't know. Maybe they'll give us a reason why.
Ragi got denied. But furthermore,
I want to see her
Sakamoto
fight a little
literally
bit more too.
lost to Torres 5 times in a row while in his skinny form. For him to have absolutely zero struggle against Torres now feels just wrong. And Torres got turned into your usual jobber villain spouting generic shonen nonsense at Sakamoto while he got his ass beat. Meanwhile, the rest of the community is focused on the fact that Sakamoto used a claw machine to hit Torres. It's fine to like that. It definitely is a great showing of Sakamoto's battle IQ, but I can only do the trope of, oh my god,
Dang, they need
Sakamoto
to
used
bring Gaku
anything
back.
as a
I know
weapon
I done
so
said
many
it a lot.
times.
He was my
That's
favorite character.
literally
Him and
been his
Shen.
shtick for the
I'll go back
entire
and forth.
manga, and to loop back to my earlier point, Sakamoto's evolution as a fighter should have been a modification to this fighting style rather than simply getting faster and stronger. In fact, Torres himself makes an interesting point during their first fight, talking about how playing the card you're dealt is the key to winning a fight. Sakamoto thinks about this after he
I
loses,
feel like
and
his
yet does
adaptability
nothing
though.
with it.
I
It
feel like ain't
ultimately
nothing wrong with
feels
it.
like Suzuki
He been
sacrificed
adapting
all
every time he
build up
fight.
and tension to get
So it
one
ain't really
chapter
just
of
luck. That's
Sakamoto
just how
beating
he
the shit out
fights.
of Torres that wasn't even that extraordinary compared to the other fights in the series. I don't give a fuck that pretty mode activated in the photo booth, and I don't give a fuck that Sakamoto used the claw machine. I do give a fuck about the absolute death of all foreshadowing and build-up that occurred through
Man,
one
they made him
chapter of
mad.
poor writing decisions. And I think this is where my interests diverge from that of the greater community. I don't want to attack someone for what they like. If you fell in love with Sakamoto Days for the wacky action sequences and just really enjoy seeing Sakamoto creatively beat up his
I think
enemies,
the story
then
was
more
good
power
too
to you. I'm glad you're
with
enjoying what the
the
series
fighting
is right
scenes.
now. But for someone like me who wants a more serious story, someone who wants that narrative buildup in long-term
I ain't even gonna say that it's for someone who wants a serious story. The story was serious at first. Well, I wasn't gonna say serious. It had like the quirky moments, but it blended in with the seriousness well. But now, like when it's this one scene in the manga with it had to do with the girl who was like her skill was like being like super lucky. When it like sliced Shin and it was like a reason why he didn't get cut was like a rare. It was I don't know. It was something weird like that. I don't know. They kind of lost it with that. Cause then it is like yo, it felt like you threw a supernatural element into this story that it wasn't needed. Like you could have wrote a different way of why he didn't receive damage from that attack. That I feel like that's what really messed it up and it made a lot of the fandom mad. And then just a continuous of just like I don't know generic basic stuff that was going on with generic basic characters. Like we don't know what happened to Gaku. The main villain lost his aura. Like, it was a bunch of stuff, but it is what it is.
plot progression, the series is just not in a great place for that. It's not that the story has none of those elements, it's just that Suzuki has written a large chunk of the story to have that, and is now fumbling as he tries to reconcile the week to week goofy fun chapter experience with the more drawn out plot heavy reading experience you get or expect to get when you take the story on as a
Takamura
whole.
dying, that was
Sakamoto's
bad
return is
too.
just a microcosm of larger issues affecting the story. Kumanomi, much like Torres, got turned into a generic jobber spouting generic nonsense, and she
Yeah,
was
she ain't even
also
the same. And
quickly
she
taken
had a
care of in a fight
crazy
that was
showing in the
realistically
museum, and she
not
ain't
that
even the same
impressive
no
or
more.
groundbreaking for a series like Sakamoto Days. And to that point, let's talk about the fights. This is typically a strong suit for the series, but recently the fights themselves are also
I do
off.
feel like the
I'm not
anime
here to
didn't do the
yap
fights
on about
enough
how there's no
justice though.
tension and how I don't like the characters, so let's talk about something else. Let's talk about the pacing. Why is it that Suzuki can't just focus on one fight at a time like he used to? The biggest interruption I remember for a fight was with Sakamoto versus Kanaguri, which got cut off by Shin, Amane, and Siba versus Club Gym, and then Shishiba versus Yotsumura.
I didn't have a problem
Thankfully,
with
Club
that though.
Gym's fight was solid, and Shishiba versus Yotsumura is a top 5 fight in the
Yeah,
series.
if not the
Now,
best
it
fight.
seems like Suzuki just loves to bounce between all these fights without ever concluding them, which,
Bleach
at
used to
least for
do that
me,
a lot
ruins
too.
the
I didn't
pacing.
mind it when
I
they did.
get that Suzuki is trying to emphasize the feeling of it being an all-out war by showing how our cast of characters are all fighting at the same time,
It just
but
he
it
did characters
legitimately
that we don't care
feels like
about, like the
all other fights
girl. I
pause to
forgot her
only
name.
focus on one. Like when Sakamoto fights Torres, we get a few
And the
reaction shots
kids at
from
like the
other characters, and it
assassin
literally
college.
feels like they stopped fighting to watch Sakamoto. If Gozu is so scared of Sakamoto, why isn't he fighting Shishiba like hell so he can help Torres? If Tanabata knows that Sakamoto is a threat, why isn't he getting
Like
Shen out
even
of the
now,
way
I
to help
thought
take
that
down
the
Sakamoto? What is
like
going
even that I feel like Shishiba, the guy with the hammer, I feel like he gonna make quick work of the other guy, the guy that uses electricity, like the newcomer from the orphanage. I feel like he gonna make easy work out because now he done already established like these guys, the new guys, villains that he brought in, they not as tough as you would think. So I feel like the guy with the hammer, he gonna win that.
Osaragi even doing now? Or Kindaka? Why does it feel like there's no object permanence in the story? So, if you can't tell by now, I do not like what Sakamoto Days has become.
Me,
No
I agree
sugarcoating,
with you.
I'm just disillusioned with the series. You can like Sakamoto doing Sakamoto things and the classic Suzuki wackiness, but I'm not entertained by it anymore. The fights are boring, the villains are all jobbers, Sakamoto's return was done poorly, and maybe shouldn't even have been done at that point in the story. Things are repetitive, and no, to people that think Sakamoto Days is back because Sakamoto hit Torres with a claw machine, the series is in fact not back. The series
Yeah.
is staler than ever, and ultimately, I think it's because I grew to expect too much from it. Sakamoto Days might have never been made
Again, I think
with
it
the
got something to
intention
do
of
with
being a
Kagurabachi being so
sprawling,
good.
plot driven story. I have to accept it for what it is, and the people that love the story can continue to love the story. For what it's worth, I'll still read to the end, I just won't be as interested.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree 100% with everything he said in this video. He didn't tell one lie. And it was, I do think it does have something to do with Kagurabachi going on this run where it's just been amazing. So it does kind of dim the light of Sakamoto Days. But also, Sakamoto Days has been lacking in just the creativity department. It just feels like it's, I don't know. It's just, I think it's mainly because the way they did the characters with the main villain losing, or because he was like, I don't know, he wasn't as strong as you say, and then he was getting used, and it was just, I don't know, he lost all his ore. And then Takamura dying, that, and then and even when Takamura died, him, the personality going to, believe it was Uzui, the main character of Slur, going to him, it kind of gave him a power boost, but I don't know, it just didn't feel the same. So yeah, Sakamoto Days is lacking. Like, and just like that, I'm still gonna read to the end. It is a good read to get to. So I'll read Sakamoto Days first, then I'll read the new Kagurabachi, and then uh most likely I'll read Kagurabachi again because normally that's how good it is. So if you watching this video, please go read Kagurabachi. Sakamoto Days, check it out. Hopefully it'll get better, but yeah, it is lacking. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.